I'm getting ready to put this house together in my garage. I got it laying down on the floor. Let me try to spin it around for you. Okay, this is the house. Alright. Let me bag up. I also got a, the reason my garage is kind of low on space because I got this shed I'll be putting together at another date. I definitely may have to do a video about that, but we'll get to that at another time. Right now, I got limited space, all right? So I'm together one of these times. This is a lot of loose pieces. You know, I gotta be honest. Looking at this and looking at all these different parts, it feels discouraging right now. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, it actually feels very discouraging. Just because there's so many little bitty parts. But wait, there's more. see, I put all the wood, I separated all the wood into sections. I put all the matching wood with the matching wood. Now, let's see what this is about. I really need to be reading some directions, but y'all already know how it goes. We gotta first see if we can do it. Then we get to the directions when it get hard. It's the dullest razor cutter I ever had. So you know I've been using that for a long time. Don't tell, look, more pieces. Are you surprised? I'm not. More pieces. So, I mean, wow. So this is the hardware. Put that on. Ignore them leaves and ignore the mess in my garage. I'm working on clearing a lot of this out. Once upon a time, I used to be able to park both of my cars in here. So, okay. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh. Okay, so I open up the hardware, and here's all the screws and stuff that I'm going to need. So everything is labeled pretty good. Every screw, the top of it has this kind of drill bit. Every one of them. It's kind of like that square or that diamond. In fact, it's the same ones that they've been using. So I don't think you're going to use your Phillips. You're going to be using what they provided you with. So in the instructions here, first thing it wants us to do is assemble this, the side of the roof. They want me to use the 021 and the screws are the S3. So I got the 021s. But I noticed on the instruction it said the screws going into the top of this. So I made it to where it just come out just a little. So if they already had this stuff together already, which I'm assuming they did, this should go in here just how it came out. So I got 2 holes right there, and oh yeah, it's good, baby. So let me get that in there. If you don't feel comfortable, get it a little closer. There. It's in. Just like that. I'm gonna do the other ones too. Alright, we're gonna move on to step 2. And that's the roof assembly. I'm gonna need the brackets. These narrow angle brackets. It's 2 packs, 2 in each pack. So that's gonna take them out. So I'm gonna need them. Also, the S37 screws. It says, let's get a close up. See that? It should go like this. And then it's gonna go like this. See, I actually have it on its side Because if you flip it up, you know what I mean? Kind of holding it down. You can actually get the screw started by pushing into the wood a little bit because the wood is kind of soft. Like so. And I'll do those other ones. Yeah. All right, we're moving on to part, what is that, step 2? That can't be step 2. Oh, yeah, well, step 2 of the roof, part 3. So basically, the part that we did earlier, all I'm going to do is put this. So we got this together already. Did you notice? We got that together. So we're going to put this on top of that and screw it down. But what you don't want to miss, you got to get it flush. So I'm going to use my finger because they want it has to be flush at this point. So I'll put a screw or two up there, and then at the bottom, you see this? Then I'll screw it in and have it flush at that point. So it'll be like that. Then I'll flip it over and do the other side of it the same way. One thing I almost forgot to mention in this step, we are going to use the S15 screws. So we're going to need 12 of them. So I'm going to take 12 out, and then I'm going to drill them in. Let me see something. See, I got that flush. I'm gonna hold it with my finger. And then that's pretty. So I already did the bottom, and now that roof is pretty much together. To part 4. So basically we're going to attach parts, this wood part 024, to the outside of the roof. So we're going to need this wood part, and we're going to need 2 of the 3/16 screws and the washer. So I'm going to screw this through there, and then I'll come back so I can put that little wood block on it. So let's do that. So I already know where the pre-drill holes at. If you look close, you'll see them. I know from the video you can't really tell, but trust me, it's right here. So let me take a look. So let me show you this. So I put those on there. I put it on the line of this roof like this, and just kind of, I got my hand on the inside, and I'm just kind of going back and forth because the wood, like I said, is fairly soft. Or you can do that just to put some pressure on it. So now I'm gonna hold it like this. There's one. Okay. And we're moving on to the next step. Okay, so we're gonna put this together now. Alright, first thing I'm gonna do is go to my hardware and get the S2 screws, and that's 10 of them. So I noticed, okay, these are the parts we need. Okay, I got these two. 031 and 032, they right here. And then I need 5 of these 033s. Well, I got the 033s right here. But I noticed there's only 4 of them. So I'm missing one that was in the box. I looked through my pile of wood, and unfortunately, what's this? Yeah, this is not it. Unfortunately, I am missing a piece of wood. Basically, I'm going to do it this way. Start on each end. I put the end first. This end, and then I put that end in. I put those in first. Held my finger to make sure it was flush, flat across the top. Whoa, have everything with me, you know? So anyway, that's how it look. See, that's how it look. All right, we're moving to the next step. So the next step is here. I need these tools, which I already have them. I set my screws right there. Let's go ahead and put this together. Alright, what's going to be crazy about this step is, so we got this together. This is the taller side. This is the shorter side, the 032. This is the 034. So the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to put it up against this box, because this is as much distance as I'm going to need. So I'll know where to place that on my board. So basically, you see where that's placed at on this board? It's kind of like this. It's not on this, it's right on that, flush against it. Then I'll tighten it up. That's basically what I'm doing. Just like this. Okay. Just like that. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So, you know that piece I was missing? Well, what I did, I had these old wood blocks that I use. Now, it's not quite the same size as this, you know. See, if you put it up there, it's obviously smaller. But I didn't really care because I know missing the piece from the middle was going to affect me long term because I wasn't able to put this on there. So I kind of flipped through the book and seen that at some point some more attachments go to the middle. So what I did, I cut that to size, put it in the center, and attach this to it. See? You know what I mean? Like, what harm can it do? Then I set it up just to make sure that it fit, that everything was, that it sit flush like that. And so I just wanted to show you guys that I had to do a look. I improvised just a little bit, and we're gonna see how it turned out toward the end. We're moving on to the next step. We completed that. We built the ladder. We completed this step. This is the step where I had to improvise because I was missing the middle. So I improvised. Now we are moving to the next step. Oh, and that's just unfolding the house. We already did that. So now we're right here. Okay. So the tools, we always look at our tools first. This is what I'm going to need, so let me get that right now. Alright, for this next step, basically, we got this, 2 of these 041 and 4 042s. And the screws we're going to use are the S2s, and we need 28 of them, so I have that stuff out. So, once again, you know how I like to do it. We're going to place these in the pre-drilled holes. I love pre-drilled holes. When I'm doing other projects, I usually pre-drill holes myself because it just makes things so much easier. So, now with this, we're not going to bring it to the corners. See? We're going to just use this block. I mean, that wall, I should say. So this is how we're going to do it. Drill is ready to go. So what I'm going to do is line it up. But you notice I got my fingers on this wall. It need to be flush. It need to be flush, just like that. So I'm going to make this. I'm putting a little bit of pressure on it just so I could, have it just the way I want it. Usually things get a lot easier once you get your first screw in. And that's that. I'm trying to do the middle first. You don't need to put I'm not putting too much pressure in when I'm drilling. I'm not trying to drill a hole in, because the wood is pretty thin on this wall. I'm just getting my screw just surface or underneath the wood, kind of like how you do drywall. Now we have the 042 boards. So once again, same thing, nothing has changed. Once you get going with this, you kind of get yourself in a zone. It's really not hard to do. Just be patient and take your time. I mean, you're not in a rush against time, not unless you are. But, just take your time. Now this, so what I want to do, see when I line the 041s up on each outside wall, now I want to, and you lined it up against the inside, it left probably about an inch gap. See, there's an actual gap where it comes out. So now I want to bring that out to make it even. It should be a perfect fit. And it is. Now the one thing the instructions want us to pay attention to, there's 2 holes in this board. Those going on the outside. These 2 going to be on this outside, the 2, and when I put this other one in, it's going to be on that outside. So let's get this. Same thing. This other one. The reason why I look at the instructions, I look at what hardware I need, how many screws or whatever, and I just sit all that out. Therefore, as I'm doing the job, I can see, okay, I'm down to a few more screws left, so I know that I'm just about done with this portion of the job. See that? See how that lines right up? That's what we want. That's exactly what we're doing. Alright, we on to this next step. So, we already got the parts. See, you got the 2 boards, the 043s, and we have the S15 screws. And that's going to go on the inside wall at the bottom. So, let's go in the house. Well, first, let me get my tools. And now let's go into the... Alright. I barely fit, but I fit. And we're pretty much going to put this on the center. See, at the bottom. So I'm on the inside. And then I'll put this other one on this wall in the center. Like so. Okay, so basically I attached this window piece and then I did this step right here, and now I'm getting ready to go to attach the door assembly. But let me just show you what I did. I just put the clocks in. It was pretty much just screwing it to the wall, one on the outside, one on the inside. Then I attached this, and I just pretty much hung that up just because that's all I did. I attached this ledge right here, this little part. I just put it in, screwed it, and it's also a little wooden piece underneath you gotta attach first. So these 2 screws right here goes into that. That's pretty much all I just did. So let's attach the door assembly. Okay, let's attach the door. Okay, so I pretty much got, that was in this bag, the strike plate and the door handle, the catch plate. So let's go ahead and put that on. Also, I needed 6 of those S37 screws, so we got those right here. So let's get started with this. Alright, so let's get this set up. According to the book, we need to measure 18 1/4. and make a mark, and that's where the door handle should be placed at on the inside. So we got 18 and 1/4 is right here. And then for the strike plate, that's gonna be 15. Put that on here. Let me get this going. Again, the wood is soft, so you can pretty much push the screw in just to get it started. So let me just... Alright. Okay, and that's that. Alright, let's get to this next step. So I went and put pretty much the whole door assembly together. All I did was attach the strike plate. See, strike plate on the door. So when it closed, you see it's kind of a gap, but it hit that. I'll show you the inside of it. That's pretty much all I did. That's the inside of it. Now I remember this assembly, like the ladder, the one that I had to modify in the middle. So I just put that inside the house because I'm getting ready to put it up against that wall with the clocks. So let's get to that. First, see what we need. Okay, we need 4 of those S2s, 2 of those S3s, and 2 S15 screws. And it's gonna go inside up against the wall and flush against the window. So before I even hop in that house, I'm gonna just put these screws into place. So those S2s gonna go up against the wall and under the window pretty much. So there's 4 of those, so let's put those in right now. And therefore I don't have to try to remember when I get up in here. Trust me, it's not easy for me to keep ducking in and getting under this door. If I can just step over this house, I would. But I can't. So I got those in. And then the S3 screws It's pretty much going to go with just 2 of those. It's pretty much going to go into this part of it. It's going to pretty much go into this part. Oh man. So all I do is put the screws through their pre-drilled hole. You know how we like to do it. And then we got these last 2 S15s, which is going in the center, somewhere at the bottom. So I'm gonna put those in. You can see what I'm doing right here. I'm just putting those in. No big deal. So let's set this over to the side. We'll go inside the house. It's going to literally go flush. You can kind of put your fingers right across there underneath the clock almost on that little ledge to make sure it's flush. And we're going to get the first screw in. Like that. Like that. And the rest should be a piece of cake. Uh-oh. So we got those in. And what else we put in? We put these 2 at the bottom, so they just right here. We got the 2 on the end. Okay, so I got 1 more. And okay, well, I'm glad I improvised right here. This next step, we just pretty much gonna add on to that little shelf assembly we put on there. So I got the parts. I'm gonna put it on there and screw it in. So that's my wood. So what I'm gonna do with these 2 72s, they're gonna go right here. One on each end. This pretty much oh well. And this is the conservatives. Oh yeah, these girls definitely gonna be sitting on this. Okay, well let me make. That's pretty much how that's gonna look. So I'm gonna tighten that down. All right, let's get to this next step. So we're right here. So basically, we're gonna need 2 of the S2 screws, 2 of the S3 screws, plus the 2 080 wood blocks. It's gonna go underneath the door. Once again, let's go ahead and let's see the S2. On to the next step. Where are we at? Okay, now this is where we put the roof on. And out of room. So I had to clear out the garage just a little bit. So I did put the roof on top, and this is how it looked once I set it up there. It wasn't so bad. I just set it up there. And now what I'm going to do, according to the directions, we need 8 of these S2 screws. So remember when we put this around the house, each corner, and there was 2 holes left? So we're going to screw these in. Okay, so all I'm pretty doing is I walked around the house, this house, and I'm kind of making sure nothing is off center. It's not perfectly perfect, but I'm making sure it's not too off. You know what I mean? It's up here pretty even though, but still, you want to just make sure you just go around it and make sure it's to your liking. Okay. You know what? Let me do it this way. There you go. There. Now the roof is up there. Okay, in this step we're going to attach the bay window. So I'm going to need 4 S37 screws. So need 4 of those, and the bay window came in a package. And according to the instructions, it needs 4 S37 screws. I'm going to set it up here like this. I don't think it go this way. So I'm going to start, press down on it a little bit. Just like so, just to get it started. Moving on to the next set of instructions. So, we just did that bay window. This is the next step. So we're going to put that other part in there. So we're going to need 10 of those S37 screws. Okay. And the bay window insert. Alright, let's get it going. Okay, so we pretty much want to take the bay window, and they say we need to bend it, all right, and from the inside, so go like this, okay, okay, you can see that there's some holes on the bottom part, and the platform, this is holes on it, so we're going to screw that down real quick. I kind of brighten it up just a little bit, so let's Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I know this may look kind of silly, but this is what you do when you, and you can kind of see that I'm putting this in, and the screws line right up to the pre-drilled holes. Okay. I see. So as you can see, there's 4 pre-drilled holes, which is going to go up here. And then once you go on the inside on this part, there's 4 pre-drilled holes. They're going to screw up into this. You know what I mean? So, and that's that. That's how you put the bay window on. Okay, so the next step is attach these corner trims. So we're going to need 24 of those S38 screws and 4 of the 110 trim boards, which there's only 4 of them. So I got those. And the way we're going to do this is, let me sit this down. So according to the instructions, so notice they want me to notice the corner, because this is where it's going to go in the hole orientation of the trim boards. So what I'm going to notice first is the very bottom when the hole is on the right. So I got this trim board, the hole is on the right. So I walk around to the house and it's going to go right here, right? So I'm going to set these up all around my house. So I'm going to focus on the bottom one. And let me see something. So I'm pretty much going to have these on both outside walls. See the holes on the right. All right. Guys, forgive me about the lighting, but again, the hole on this trim board is on the right, so I'm going to just lean it up against the wall. As you can see, what I did, I just leaned them up against the walls that I'm going to attach it to. Okay, then I'm going to go to the one at the bottom. Alright, now I can work my way up. Uh-oh. To the next step. Oh, this is the next step. All right, so we're going to attach this part up to the roof, and what we're going to need in this step is the 120 and the 120 board and 8 S2 screws. I got the boards, both of the boards, and I got the screws. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so I'm going to go inside of the house to do this part. I noticed this board is a little warped. It's going to pretty much go like this. That's how it's going to go. Just like this. Just like so. So So this is the step we're on right now. So we're pretty much going to need 2 of the 122 boards, 6 S2 screws, 2 S37 screws, and 1 narrow bracket. So I got those tools, and now I got the 122 boards. So let's go ahead and put this up here. It's going to go like this. We're going to push it up, you know, toward the crown of it, just like this. All right. So basically, I can just do one side at a time. So what I'm going to do, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this in. And we're only going to put, there's 2 sets of holes. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. We're only going to put screws on the inside so it can tie into this. All right. Okay. There. That's how you put that on. We're moving on to the next step. Now we want to do this part. So basically we need that 123 board, and we need 4 S2 screws. Let's get that. All right, so I'm going back into the house. Got my hardware. We're going to put this board up. And the way we're going to do it is we're going to put it up, but we're going to push it up toward the roof. All right. So we're going to put it in. It's not going to go like this. Nope. It's going to go up. So we're going to push it upwards like this. Make sure it's nice and even, which I believe it is. And we just gonna just go. Like that. Okay. We're moving on to the next step. Ready for this next step? Okay. So the hardware we're going to need 6 of those S37 screws. We're going to need the peak mount, span, and pivot mount, which comes in this bag. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this going. Alright, the way we're going to do this, we're going to take these parts. I'm going to push this in here first. Okay, I guess it's supposed to spin. And there's also a little piece. And I want to get that inside of here. Okay. All right, well, that's how that go. Let's take a look at it. All right. Moving on to the next step. The next step is right here. All right, so we pretty much gonna need 2 of the 124 boards and 6 S2 screws. All right, let's get started. All right, for this part, we pretty much want to put these 2 up. So the way we're going to do it, we have to do one at a time. So I'm going to find my center like this. Make sure it's nice and even. All right. And it's going to go just like so. So I'm going to move this one out of the way. Actually, I'm going to start right here in the middle. Try to hold that tight as I can. Yep, and I got it. So let's see if I can get the other one on. If I get this other one on here, then we'll put the rest of the screws in. That's how we do it. Again, them holes that we left on this board on the outside, you can kind of push it through and see exactly where that screw is going to hit at. And then you can push it and then tighten it up. Yeah, just like that. Then I'm gonna finish that off. All right, let's move to the next step. All right. And we are going to attach this vent. And we're going to need 4 of those S37 screws and the vent, which came in the packaging. And it's going to go on this side of the house where the bay window is. And I'm going to go on the inside of the house and tighten this up. You see that? So it's going to go up like this. And I'll go on the inside and tighten it up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. So it'll look like that. For the next step, okay. So for this, we're going to need the 130 board, 2 of the S2 screws, and 2 of the S37 screws. I have those. I have the board. And it's going on the inside of the house up against this vent I just put on. So let's get started. Alright, so these are my screws. So I had the wrong board. It's really this right here. It actually said 130. And I knew I had the wrong board because 2 screws go on the top of this to tie into this, like this, according to the instructions. So, let's go ahead and get this going. So I'm assuming this gonna be next. Or maybe not. Or maybe it'll go like this. Huh. I don't know, but let's go look at the instructions and go on to the next step. So we're moving to the next step. And I was right, that board, actually both of them, the last two, is going to go up there. So what we're going to need for this is the 131 and 132 boards, which one of them is in the house already, and 8 of the S2 screws. Alright, let's go ahead and get started with that. Okay, so now that I got all my tools, I have the 2 boards. So, back in the house. See, here's the 2 boards. One is shorter than the other. And they're pretty much going to go like this according to the direction. According to the directions, they're going to go like this. Now, let's leave out of the house. When you think about it, I'm pretty tall and I could stand up in the house, but I can't stand straight up. I gotta hunch over and I kind of move around. Yeah. You guys have kids, they're gonna love this, I promise. Alright, so we're moving on to the next step. And I don't know if I mentioned in this step the hardware I needed. And I also needed those 8 S2 screws, which we did that. That was this step. And just so you can see the work from the outside of the house, this is what it looks like. It's got like a little gap in there, but I'm sure it was designed that way. Now to this step, we're going to need those, the window frame. And we're going to need 20 S37 screws. So you're going to open this package up. And then I have the S37s. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and install these windows. So what we're going to do is pretty much put them in each window that's like this and put the screws in it. I have my assistants with me. Give me 4 of those screws. Thank you. So we pretty much put them in from the outside. See my daughter on the inside of the house, just enjoying herself. Just like so. It should be a piece of cake getting these in. Alright. Okay. And I'm pretty much going to go around to every one, these 2 windows and the back 2 windows, and do the same thing. So I'm probably going to show me doing each window, but you guys kind of get the point. Alright, we're moving to the next step. We're going to attach this flower pot. So we're going to need 2 of the S10 screws. I think this is our first time using those screws. But this is the flower pot. We're going to take that out of the bag. And I have 2 of the S10 screws. Alright, let's get started. Alright. So basically they just going to line this up against this window. What I'm going to do is push my screw in a little bit because the wood is a little soft. one end. And to be honest, these screws I just put in are slightly angled because it's hard to get in there with this drill. But, alright, that was it. The next step, we're going to attach this mailbox. And that's in this bag. Alright, let's get started. But don't worry, we will get this together. We're going to be persistent when we putting stuff together. There we go. So that went in pretty smooth. Let's see if we can get that other side in just as smooth. Okay. Okay. So let's get this. All right. So just like so. And I'm going to oh, I think I should have put this in first. I think. Okay, so I got that in. Push that back down. It kind of snaps into place. And okay, so the mailbox came with these 3 screws. Which I need a regular Phillips tip for.
Who, me?
Okay, so all right. On to the next step, we're going to attach the mailbox to the house. We're going to need 3 S10 screws and 2 S37 screws. I have those screws right here. All right, let's get started. All right, so basically the mailbox is already put together. And right at the bottom of this window, if you put it right here, I'm gonna take these 2. And those will go at the top. These are the S10s, the S10 screws that's going toward the top. Pretty easy enough. And then that last S10 gonna go up at the top on the bottom. And actually, the mailbox is in place. All right, we're moving on to the next step. I remember those 2 boards. So for this, we're going to need those 2 boards, that 170 and 171. And we're also going to need 2 S37 screws. We need 2 of those S37 screws along with the last angle bracket. All right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so what I'm going to do here, I got my tools. All right, got the hardware, and we got these two boards. Notice the pointy end is here. Okay, so let me do it this way. Let me do it like this. I want to make sure you guys can see me. Okay, you can see me good enough. All right, so we're gonna put it together like this. All right. It's gonna go right here. Obviously, this is gonna be kind of difficult, but I'm holding it together with my hand. I got my thumb on that bracket, and I'm just gonna push a little to get that started. All right. Just like so. Okay, we're moving on. Got this together, okay? There's nothing at the bottom. So, we're gonna move right on to the next step. We're gonna do this. We're gonna need that 180 and 181. Also, we're gonna need 4 S2 screws, okay? So I have my screws already in my board. And according to the instructions, it wants us to measure 7/8 from the side. So I'll do the 7/8, and then I'll just make a little notch with my tape measure. So this is going to go this way. So I'm going to put it right there in my 7/8. And I'm going to use my finger or my thumb to make sure it's lined up with the edge of this. It should go straight down. You know, that's how you know it's lined up. And since I got it on there pretty good, now I'll go ahead and drill. Okay. Get this lined up. All right. We're gonna do the same on this side. Same thing. I already marked my 7/8 from the edge, and then I lined it up to make sure it's flush. I'm gonna hold it down. Okay. Now, just like so. Okay. So we're going to need 4 of those S37 screws and the roof peak and the span. All right, so we're moving on to this step right here. So we got this and this. So we pretty much gonna push this inside like this. Okay? That's gonna go like that. But, the one thing I am going to do, remember this? I don't know if you guys can see this. Remember where the bracket is? What we're gonna do, and you see the opening? We're gonna turn this basically upside down like this. This might be a terrible camera angle, but you guys understand what I'm doing. You know what I'm doing. Guys, I want to show you this. So this is how it actually should look. This is really pushed back on the inside, you know, like so. And now we'll take these and we'll line these up. Okay, so I'm going to start with one of them. Get it just how I want it, which is right here. And I'm going to hold that nice and tight. You know how we do it. We get a screw to start it. So I'm using my finger to make sure it's even. Just like that. Now I can put this other one on here. Make sure it's nice and tight. I'm holding it really tight. Make sure it's flush. And that's how we do it. Let's go finish this side off. When I do something like this, I usually always start at the top, then the bottom. So, that's how it looked. Since we came this far along, we may as well go right to that next step. Uh-oh, it look like we are. Is this the last step? Can this be? Oh no, I still got one more page. All right, so we're on this step. Step 20. Okay, looks like we're gonna put this over that front door. We are going to need 2 of those S3 screws. All right, let's get started. All right. I see it. Got a pre-drill right there and right there. We'll keep it going. All right. So let's go check out this next step. The next step is okay. What are we doing? Okay, we're gonna tighten this other. Okay. So for this step, we are going to need 2 of the S2 screws. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get that going. All right. Okay. All right, for this next step, we are going to put this chimney together. For this step, we are going to need that 210 chimney top, 4 of the S37 screws, and the chimney wall. All right, so I got those parts. Take this out of the bag. We got this. So according to the directions, we're going to bend this like this, okay? I'm going to put this up here, okay? So what I'll do for this part, I'll just sit it on top of it. I'm going to try to reach down in there and put a little pressure on that. And then alright, so we're going to go ahead and attach this, attach the chimney. According to the instructions, they want me to measure 17. Where is it? 17 and a half from here. So if I get 17 and a half, if I do 17 and a half, that leaves me right here by this notch. So there's literally like a notch right here. I'm just gonna mark that a little bit. Okay. All right, everybody. Putting that chimney on was pretty much the last step in putting this house together. Real easy project, especially if you just took your time with it. You know, not too hard, not too complicated. I know toward the beginning it looked very discouraging seeing all those wood parts and just in general it looked very discouraging. But if you made it this far, congratulations. I'm glad I was able to help you. And if you want to go ahead and join the family, you can hit that subscribe button. If you want to keep updated when I drop a video, you can hit that notification icon. All right, everybody. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.